The evening of October 3rd, that afternoon, I was actually on my way home. My day was done. I had just stopped next to another officer discussing some law enforcement business when the dreaded tone out that none of us want to hear came out. And the words, "Officers, down." Without question, we responded to assist just outside the city limits of Florence. I didn't know who was there. Didn't care. Just fellow officers. As I responded, I had one thing on my mind: to help. Whatever I could do. I responded in an unmarked vehicle. At the time, I was a sergeant of the crime scene unit, Florence Police Department. Blue lights flashing in the dash, in the windshield. Siren going. As I approached, Deputy McDaniel saved my life. As I could audibly hear what was going on and realized this is gunfire, and it sounded like a war zone, he was waving me off. As soon as I put my vehicle in park, I realized what was going on, put it back in drive, ducked down, went to leave, and I caught around through the windshield and my head. Immediately, my right side is paralyzed completely, with the exception of the movement of my hand. Gas pedal goes to the floor. I accelerate my vehicle into another victim's home, where I was stuck there. I don't even remember how long. Of course, it felt like forever. Bullets flying. I could hear and I had no idea in relation really to where I was at the time. But I was aware enough to know that there was a fight on. But I was pinned in a vehicle and couldn't get out. Throughout all the firearms going off, the confusion, radio is still just chaotic. I hear a voice. Another deputy's there, giving me comfort, doing everything he possibly can to pull me out. Ultimately, I got out of that vehicle. He stayed with me as I laid on the ground bleeding. I remember every detail that day. I remember everything. I remember being transported in an MRAP, being thrown in the back of a pickup truck and being triaged on the back of the truck, a pickup truck, being thrown in an ambulance, and it ultimately ended up in the hospital. I remember telling doctors and nurses, "Please clean my face up. Don't let my wife see me in blood like this." I remember the officers that were lined in the hallway, concerned about what was going on. Ultimately, after I was put to sleep in the operating room, and the last thing that I heard was a doctor tell me, "We're going to take care of it." I can't tell you what happened the next 3 or 4 weeks. I know from being told that I was in the hospital here in Cloud for 2 weeks before being transported to Atlanta, Georgia Reception Center, where I spent the next several months in extensive rehab. When I didn't think I'd ever get out of a wheelchair, I did. I made it to a walker, made it to a cane, and ultimately made it just walking on my own for a good while with an electronic device. Ended up having blood clots that almost cost me my life. I still suffer today from partial injuries on my right side. that has cost me a lot. I stand here today a totally different man than I was on the morning of October 4th. Standing stuck beside each other, even I don't believe it. But I'm here for all of these people. I'm here for myself. I'm here for the people that's out there. Let them know, despite a bad incident, we can still overcome. And not let somebody take something from us. You just don't deserve it. For 5 years, I thought about when this day came and what I would say. For the last 2 weeks, I've struggled. What am I going to say? Ultimately, honored after 18, a little more than 18 years in law enforcement here in Florence. I put on that uniform every day knowing that someday, maybe today, we make the ultimate sacrifice. Every officer that's standing in here, that's sitting in this courtroom, that's in the courtroom next door, every officer across this nation does it on a daily basis because they know it's a calling. They know that one day it could happen. The thing about it is we do it because we think that there will be justice if something did happen. Regardless of whatever penalty is imposed here today or carried out, there is no justice in this. Given the defendant's, Fred Hopkins' age, his medical condition, there's no justice in this. I seriously doubt he would survive any lengthy amount of time. It didn't matter if he was 20 years old, there's no justice in it in what he did. None of us can fix it. None of us can take it back. We want a Monday night quarterback and go back, try to get you the door faster. Turn just a little bit sooner. We can't. Every one of us will have to sit here and struggle with this the rest of our lives. I wish I could sit here and tell you, regardless of my medical miracles that have taken place with me, that I don't wake up in cold sweats. I wish I could tell you, John, that I don't think every day, today's going to be the day something goes wrong upstairs and I make a bad decision. I have that fear. I think I'll ever lose that fear. After everything was all said and done, and I started to hear what was going on, and I could comprehend what actually happened weeks and months after, I was not home to be able to be with my family. I was not home to be able to be with my fellow officers and with my physical family. I was not home to say goodbye to Terrence and Barry. Your Honor, nothing can fix this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.